I just realized I can't hear anything.
Can't hear anything?
No, and it's not me this time, I think. I mean, it might be me still, but we'll see. We'll see.
What if I turn it way up?
That did work. That's loud. Yeah, maybe that was it.
How's that?
Yeah, that's okay. That's good.
You want less?
No, that's good.
You sure?
Yeah, it's not that loud. Something broke.
Okay.
We got to get a new,
get new cables.
New house.
We gotta get new cables.
A new house?
No.
Is that what you said?
Dave doesn't like my house.
I love your house.
Dave doesn't like my house, guys.
It's cool in here now.
Well, yeah, I have the fan
Yeah,
running
it's
all
never
day
been
for
cool
you.
in here before.
I had the fan running in here all day for you.
I appreciate it. More than you know.
And now he's going to turn it off.
No,
No, you know what he's doing?
The lights.
He's dimming the lights.
I'm dimming the lights. That's
For
what I'm
for
doing.
them, not for me.
Well, for both. A little bit of
I'll
both.
take it.
I
I'll
think
take it.
Yeah.
There you go.
A little bit of bofa. Actually, that one's got to dim a little bit more. You know, I can't get
It's
it
a fancy
all right.
studio.
Yeah.
I love when we call it a studio. It makes
Yeah.
me feel so good.
It's a studio.
It makes me feel so good when I call it a studio, and I feel like a little bit of a prick that I call my own space a studio. But when other people call it a studio, I'm like, it is a studio.
It's a studio.
It is. Thank you. Oh, incredible. Absolutely amazing.
It's also fun saying things like show and episode. Just the cute little things we get to say.
Are those fun?
Son
Yeah.
of a bitch.
I wanted to see if you
Son
would
of
do
a
it again.
bitch. God damn. Morning. Welcome to Don't Be the Artist. I'm Hagen.
I'm Dave.
I'm Adam.
Talk again.
Oh, I'm Adam. I can hear now. See, I can't hear that. That's the answer.
You can't
No,
hear that?
I can.
Oh, I'll turn
okay.
it way up. We can go more. We can
No,
give you
we're
more.
good. We're good. I'll just unplug these headphones here. And
You don't really need them. How we doing this week, boys? We missed you last week, Adam.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you guys didn't know where I was, which is kind of funny.
No clue.
Yeah. I was on my way back from Austin. So,
I like the idea of us just not like.
we discussed this off the show, and
Yeah.
I think that is kind of a good bit.
Yeah.
Nobody,
just
nobody
totally
knows
didn't
where I
remember it.
go.
No, we didn't ask.
And nobody asks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, I won't be here this week. And you guys are like, okay, we'll do an episode then.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Okay, we'll do. What do we do? We'll do one Fridays on a Wednesday.
Friday on a
then.
Wednesday
All right,
this
we're
time.
solved. It's all good, Adam. We
You've
got to take care
done
of it.
you've done Fridays on Mondays, Fridays
Fridays
on
on
Wednesdays. You got to
Yeah.
do Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah, there's an old band that I was in called Kites and Boomerangs. That's song title Your Wednesday on a Friday, and that was really hard for me to keep typing.
Oh, I
Fridays.
should have done that as
Wednesday.
the title.
And I was like I was like, fuck, I've typed this so many times.
Wait, you're a Wednesday on a Friday?
Yeah.
That's a good insult.
It's a good title.
It's it's a good song title for sure. Yeah. Well, welcome back. We missed you.
Yeah, we did.
Did you watch or listen?
I listened to the first 5 minutes, like you said. And then after I got to the point of you guys saying that I wasn't going to listen further, I said, all right, I'm not supposed to listen more. So it's sitting unplayed and overcast.
Amazing. That's great. Good news.
I think we said you had your hands in your pants.
we did. Say
You did
that.
say that.
Yeah.
I said, Adam, get your
Yeah.
hand out of your pants.
Yeah.
Sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole shtick, that your
Yeah.
hands were stuck in your pants.
Yeah.
It's kind of a stick that just kind of
It came out of nowhere, kind of.
it does
seemed
its
like.
thing and then it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It falls flat real quick.
I mean, for all I know, there's 55 more minutes of that. I don't know.
That's
we
what it
didn't-
was.
We didn't do anything
Yeah.
else.
Listeners will find out.
Yeah. We didn't do anything else except for that. Yeah. If you're listening to this episode and you're like, wow, I wonder what last episode was
Yeah.
like.
I also listened to the first 5 minutes.
yeah.
I turned
It's
that off.
an hour and 40 minutes of us talking about Adam having his hands stuck in his pants.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be pretty
I
cool.
mean, some people would pay for that.
Yeah, they would, actually. Let's put it on Patreon and see what happens.
Yeah.
That's the next Patreon, is us talking about Adam having his hands stuck in his pants.
No, Adam having his hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
We got it, dude. Hey, you're okay. How was your week?
What's up?
How
My
was your
hand, my
week?
hand was stuck in its pants.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's pants.
Yeah, my hand has pants.
Your hand wears pants.
Week was good, busy. My hand actually was a problem this week because I played
Your
too
thumb?
much. No, it was just my whole hand. Just my
Oh.
whole fucking hand, man. I played a lot of music and I played instruments I don't play. I played guitar and piano and stuff, and then played a lot of drums. I had 3 gigs, 3 rehearsals, all with different bands. It was good. It's a good time.
Damn.
Fancy.
Fancy, yeah. That is one way to put it.
I mean, you think about you telling yourself that 15 years ago, you would go, yeah, that's cool.
That's true. That's true. 15 years ago, it would have been like, wow, I made it. And then I got there and I'm like, I got so much more to do.
15 years ago. I think I might have been like, yeah, okay. But the difference is I wouldn't have gotten paid for any of it.
You've always played in like a dozen bands. That's the secret.
I mean, there aren't too many bass players in Nova Scotia.
Fair.
How about people?
Fair.
Also, not too many
I
people.
was gonna say there's like 12 people, right?
Yeah, there's like 14 now.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
So some people moved there.
2 babies.
Oh, okay.
No one knows who owns them.
They're Jesus.
They're Jesus babies.
Is that normal up there?
Also, owns baby is a funny way to put that.
No one knows
Who's responsible for it?
invented them. No one knows who spawned them.
Yeah,
That's
good.
closer to right.
For our video game fans out there.
Yeah,
Where did you spawn in?
there you go.
I spawned in Dallas.
There-
Yeah, Dave knows what that means.
I did. You appeared on the map.
Wait, what? You did know what it meant.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
spawning
yeah.
means. I know what that means.
Okay.
Yeah. You spawned in. Yeah. You spawned in,
Nova Scotia.
and you spawned in.
Yeah, in Dallas.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Lots of
Yeah.
spawning going on
Yeah.
in Dallas.
We made it so far.
More than Nova Scotia. That's
Well,
for sure.
a lot
Yeah,
more.
it's true.
At least twice.
Yeah, probably more than that.
Yeah. Have you driven around recently?
In Nova Scotia or in
No,
Dallas? Look, I didn't have a fucking driver's license when I lived in Nova Scotia.
I assume there's not roads up there. I don't know.
I mean, if
What?
yeah, it's
The way Dave talks about it.
just large
sometimes.
sidewalks.
What?
No, it's just dirt roads.
There are a lot of dirt roads.
See,
There are a lot of dirt roads here.
that's true. I'm not debating. Nobody's debating
I would
that.
argue there are more dirt roads here.
Oh, there's just more space.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Therefore,
More
Yeah.
dirt roads.
more dirt roads.
Yeah, Texas is too big, guys.
It is.
Yeah,
Texas.
everybody, stop moving here, please.
Yeah, we'll get to the Texas.
Are we going to be
of today.
those people now?
No, I'm not. I'm not that. I
No, people can move here if they want to. It's not getting better.
I
Yeah.
would say that probably maybe the wrong people are moving here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll get to the Texas news because there is Texas news. We're doing music news today, and if you don't like it, listen. Sit down and listen to music news because this stuff's important, man. It's happening all around you every day. News is follow the news. It's good for you. Okay, so first piece of news. There is a new music streaming bill that aims to boost streaming royalties for artists. Now, I actually kind of heard about this a little bit this weekend. I didn't really look into it too much until today. But for those who don't know, and I assume everybody does know, but streaming does not pay anywhere close to a livable wage to musicians. It doesn't pay anything really.
Not even the people that have millions and billions of streams.
See that clip of Snoop Dogg? He
Yeah.
got that check. He has like over 1 billion streams, and he asked like his person how much it was, and it wasn't even $45,000.
Yeah.
I was about to say I would assume even like Taylor Swift isn't bringing in like multiple millions a year
No.
in streaming.
No.
Yeah. But like you would think biggest artist of the year
Would have that.
would
Yeah.
maybe make $1 million on music sales,
Right.
Streaming,
Right.
but-
The best part is that Snoop Dogg was then like, that motherfucker owes me money.
Yeah.
Somebody owes me money. Where is my money?
Yeah. So
which to be fair, good response.
That is.
Yeah.
So this has been a very big thing amongst musicians since streaming became like the main thing. There's just not enough money to be made in streaming. There is like I'll have to pull this up. Friend of the show Matthew actually posted a breakdown of the payouts. Not like you make this many fractions of a cent every time your shit streamed. But here's the breakdown.
Shit stream.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Songwriters make 15.1% of total streaming revenue in the US, while record labels make 52 to 57%, and the streaming services such as Spotify, Apple Music make 27.9 to 32.9%. So the label makes over 50% of the whole thing, while then the service makes about 30%. So whatever's left over then goes to the artists.
So potentially then, if you self-release your own music,
Yeah.
yes, I said self-release,
Shit stream.
you get rid of the shit stream. When you self-release, you get rid of the shit stream.
You're talking about
If you
like,
self-release your own music, there's no label involved. Potentially, you have upwards of 70% of the revenue.
Potentially, but you're also not going to get the same deal that the labels get
Right.
when you negotiate with, Spotify.
if you upload an album, you're going to get like basically the base return off of it, which is fractions of a cent. And the label is going to negotiate a different thing. Also because they want to make more money. The label wants more money off the stream. Yeah. So a lot of takes, before we dive into the bill, a lot of takes on this is people saying like, well, they're a business, they have to make money somehow, all this kind of shit. Don't come at me when Spotify is $1 billion company about this shit. You know, like this doesn't really I understand that they need to make money. I'm not a fucking idiot. But the issue is that we are the thing providing the product. We are the thing that's making the company work, and they're giving nothing back. They're giving nothing back. Now, I don't know what the fix is, and maybe this bill is the fix. I think that there's many episodes we talked about this, and I have this kind of controversial opinion about it in that you can't really equate streams to like buying a CD. It doesn't work the same way. Just like when like iTunes was the big thing, buying a song for 99 cents kind of equaled out to like how like maybe buying an album worked, but it still wasn't the exact same thing, right? And so it's hard for them to find, I'm sure, how to find how to pay out an artist. But the routes that they go down, even now to the point of going, if an artist has to have 1,000 streams, I think, before they even see any money, I think is what it is now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And I would assume that's on a rolling like average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is an issue that like is very, very prevalent amongst musicians. If you're a person who posts Spotify Wrapped, then you definitely know about this, because that's the time everyone decides to care about this, is during the Spotify Wrapped season. Here's some this bill being pushed forward by House of Representatives. I don't know how to say these people's names. Adam?
It's Rashida Tlaib and Jamal Bowman. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Adam.
Because they've talked about this before.
Okay.
And had got it introduced previously when Pelosi was the speaker.
Okay.
And she declined to put it on the floor because
that's cool.
Spotify, she probably had stock in Spotify.
Yeah.
That's what she does.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was probably something like really blatant like that. So this has a chance of getting introduced, mostly because more Republicans keep quitting and they're not going to have a majority anymore.
Yeah.
So, or at least it's going to be Razor Finn, and they're just going to be like, yeah, I guess we have to vote on things now. We got to do our jobs.
So basically, the idea of where the funds would come from would be from two sources: an added subscription fee proposed as an extra half with a $4 minimum and $10 maximum that would be added on top of like what people would pay for, and 10%, and then a 10% cut of the non-subscription revenue and ads. So like things like ads would then also go to the artists.
Oh wow!
Which I think is like that. The fact that wasn't already on the table is insanity. Yeah. That's like if you look at YouTubers make their money through ad revenue.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's like the whole shtick.
Well, which that has another counterpart of like they don't get any of the money from YouTube Red or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's
so
also
that's
true.
probably going to be an issue in a couple of years, but
yeah,
it is more clear on YouTube how it works.
Yes, yes. So it'll be twofold: an added subscription fee as well as a 10% cut from things such as ads and other non-subscription related revenue. Now, I guess people are going to be mad there's like extra cost on top of it, but like you already pay a fucking convenience fee to go to a show. I think this is a convenience fee. That's what this, I mean, you like artists have to make money in these ways, you know?
Well, I mean, they should, sorry to cut you off, Adam. They should label it like an artist's fee or something that's like we're giving this to artists fee.
Yeah.
I mean, it should really just be built into the price.
It should.
Yeah.
As a part that they can display. But cynically, I think this is why. Didn't Spotify just raise their prices?
Yes, they did.
And Tidal did the same thing.
Yeah.
And
Apple Music
did about a year ago.
Yeah.
I would assume they all raised their prices because they know this is going to happen.
Yeah.
They're probably losing the battle fighting against it, like lobbying against it. And they're like, well, raise our prices while we can, and then we can tack on this $4 fee and have it just go to artists, and then that means they can probably take more of the original fee.
Yeah.
But it is unfortunate, I guess, that it's going to cost more. But at the same time, $10 a month for music for everything is like pretty wild as it is.
Yeah.
So
well, and so
it doesn't seem that crazy. The only like bad part that I feel weird about is like the whole everybody's just going to pay whatever it is, $20 a year or $20 a year, $20 a month for music forever. Kind of is weirdly dystopian, but that's how it is. So
yeah. I mean, like,
we've already like gone past that. Everybody wants to stream. That's fine.
Like we all pay for like Netflix, Disney Plus,
Yeah,
HBO Max. Like you pay for all of them. So what the fuck is the difference between?
No, that's why it's
Yeah.
fine. We've already like crossed that. It's like it's unfortunate. That's what it is. It basically means if you don't have money, you don't get entertainment. Sorry.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like
That's
kind of
very
the
true.
In
I mean,
audio
that's-
and video, that's how it is. So
yeah, well, audio and video, but like that's the way it's always been.
right.
If you don't have money,
I guess
you
the
don't
only
get entertainment.
other side of this would be ad supported being an option for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like
Because like doesn't Apple have an ad supported one or a discounted one that's ad supported or something like that?
I don't know, but it wouldn't shock me. I mean,
I know
yeah.
they're talking about doing that for Apple TV. Is going to have a
Oh,
free
yeah.
tier with ad supported. So like maybe that's the solution. Is the free option has ads,
Yeah,
and then you pay artists out of those ads.
I think it's crazy to think like the proposed like thing is like a penny per stream, and that's like that feels like it's like it's so hard to reach that.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like a penny per stream. Snoop Dogg wouldn't be upset probably if he had 1 billion streams and then comes like
So okay,
that would help. That would help
Yeah.
a little bit versus
Well,
like
it would be easier to understand, which
Point-
is I think one of the bigger things is like whatever you get paid now, it's like a fraction of a cent.
yeah, it's
That's-
0.0. I think it's 3 zeros.
Right. It's
and
it's
then-
really hard
yeah.
to like put a value on what that means and how do you calculate that like in your head mentally, like knowing you just assume you're getting screwed and you are.
Yeah.
I couldn't do this in my head, but I just looked it up. A billion pennies in dollars is $10 million.
I'm sure he'd be stoked on a check
That's
of
great.
$10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like as soon as you get to a penny a stream, it's like, oh, we can like do the basic stuff and be like, everybody knows if you hit 1 billion streams, you're getting $10 million bucks.
Yeah.
It's like that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because that's like, I don't think that's necessarily like right per se. Like I could see an argument that people should make more money, but like that at least sets you really close to a place where, because what they count as a stream is also really it skews these numbers quite a bit, right?
Right.
Because like I think if you play 10 seconds of a song, I think that counts as a play. I'm not 100% sure if that's the case. If it's 10, 15, I can look that up. But the point being is that it's not listening to the full song, right? And so that kind of skews the number a little bit. But, like, that still shouldn't necessarily take back from the artist because
Right,
of that.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, then you're gonna have people that argue like, well, then if I have a 14-minute song that has 1 million streams,
Yeah.
should I technically get 2 cents because it's a very long song?
No.
Or if the limit is 35 seconds for it to count as a listen, what if my song is 34 seconds long and it's really, really popular? Then I can't make any money off of it.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
So,
That's true.
some of that gets into the Spotify CEO has made comments about songs should be shorter because they'll make more money.
He's big on that. Yeah.
Shorter so they make more money, and artists should just release more music.
Right.
Forgetting that
free media for his company.
Yeah, forgetting that it costs money to record anything that people will listen to.
Yeah.
Costs, it's 30 seconds. A play count is recorded when a song is played for more than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Is that standard between all the different companies, or is that just
That was
Spotify?
just no. This is I think that's standard. That's
Okay.
standard. Yeah.
Because that would be the other part of this would be like, well, how do they like get
How do
out
you-
of paying the full amount for everybody if it's
Right.
like, well, since we're going to pay you a penny a stream, people need to listen to like 87 seconds of the song. And you're like-
I'm totally okay with that.
I mean, I think it should be if the whole song just played more or less. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever that is, like a percentage based, like 80% of the song, whatever. Because like, if you're skipping a song, you don't want to listen to it anyway. I don't necessarily know that means we need to pay people for it.
Or if you're going to a song because you want to hear that 30-second clip from TikTok.
Yeah.
I guess
mean,
that's one thing
yeah.
I don't understand at all. So,
So it should be more
missed that
than
part.
like a TikTok video.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think one of the big things there is that like this has to be the in between of like if you bought a CD, you paid $10 for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I stream specific songs off of an album, it can't equal the same as that CD, but it has to somehow equal to the artist getting something back. So I think 30 seconds is a fair number, but like the penny per stream, it has to be a low number if it's a penny. I mean that feels like we're I don't know. Arguing over pennies feels so dumb.
Which is literally what we're doing.
There is an
dumb.
aspect of that too. It's like it's really hard to talk about this because it sounds stupid. Because
Yeah.
the streaming companies are going, well, like you guys are getting paid like 1/55th of a penny. You guys should be happy. And it's like
Right.
nobody even knows what that means except for your accountants.
Yeah.
I have two things left on that for me personally. Where the one is like instead of redistributing the breakdown of where that money was going, taking some of the 54% from labels.
Oh yeah, it's 52 to 57.
I was gonna say
52 to
at least
57.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah, so taking some of that and giving that to the 15% of the songwriter, rather than raising the price so that there's more profit.
Yeah, but
this is America.
You're
course.
you're proposing like the whole argument that I was reading before about this was that people were like, again, it's a business, they have to make money. And I'm like, this is like the fact that you're leaning into this is that you're part of the fucking problem.
Yeah.
But if I ignore all of that entirely,
Musicians are not businesses.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not anyway. They don't do anything business like.
Yeah.
No employees.
we're
no
just-
no marketing. No merchandise. Nothing.
We're just the product that the businessmen need to sell. And it just so happens that we're people too. It's like
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most
Some
part.
people,
True.
yeah.
True. Yeah. Yeah, it's that would be an easy answer to just take it from
But that's-
labels or
Yeah, that's where they would go, this isn't going to fucking work.
Yeah.
It's going to get shot down 100% of the time.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, we can romanticize about, like, CDs and people buying CDs. You pay X amount of dollars to get all the songs.
Mm-hmm.
But even that money wasn't fairly distributed to the artists.
Yeah, well, it's never been
It's
fair.
never
Yeah.
been
No.
a fair shake.
It's the money has just gone down.
Yeah.
Every single transition.
Yeah.
It has never been a fair anything about how this works. But like the it's just gotten worse over time.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's amazing that some musicians are trying to come back and be like, "Hey, let's can we do this now? Can we fix this?" It's good that people in Congress are fighting for it. Like that's huge. That gives me a little bit of hope. So yeah.
Lars was right.
Lars was not right.
No, I feel like he would not be making this argument because
No.
he seems like a "fuck you, I got mine"
Yeah.
like attitude about.
I
stuff.
mean, even when he was arguing about Napster, he was already a multimillionaire.
yeah.
He was arguing over pennies as a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
That's what's not
That's
right
the
about
next
that.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's not right about like
Whereas meanwhile, Snoop is like, "Where the fuck is my money?"
yeah.
And it's
exactly.
like, we understand you're rich, and yeah, that does seem like a small amount of money for you.
I mean, if he's like, if he's like, I got told I got 1 billion streams and then I made no money.
You
It's
expect,
like, well,
yeah, billion
that's
streams
fucked.
should sound like a big number.
Yeah.
Well, at least this much. An artist, like a hip hop artist, I would imagine, if they sell a CD at the time when CDs were really popular, they probably made $1.
Yeah.
So if an artist sold 1 billion CDs, they
Yeah.
could be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm romanticizing it.
No,
of
but
course.
but
No,
you're
but
putting
that-
it to
yeah.
1 billion streams.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I don't know how many like small artists I've seen with 1 million monthly listeners. Like small, that doesn't sound small, but like they're small in their local scene.
Yeah, maybe not
They're-
nationally touring acts.
Yeah, but
Right.
they had something pop off, so they have 1 million streams on Spotify, and they're making no money.
Yeah.
So a penny a
Insanity.
stream would help that. That would be a big change.
Yeah.
So, but yes, that is a good thing. I'm happy to see that move forward for everybody.
Even if they sent us pennies,
Yeah,
You mean
literal
actual
pennies. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll take it.
They just mail you a box of pennies.
And
Yeah.
then the banks start to hate musicians.
Yeah.
'cause we
They already
we
do.
just-
I was gonna say they already do. You bring in cash, right?
Yeah,
So-
we're already depositing pennies.
Yeah.
Stop depositing 7 cents. I don't care what your tip was at the gig.
There's a reason,
I know you found that outside.
There's a reason there are so many banks around Denton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because of all the wealthy musicians.
Yep. Okay, moving away from that. This isn't like particularly music news, but it kind of is music news. But I feel like it's at least relevant for us to briefly mention the TikTok ban.
I mean, it's
because
related to Congress. They're doing things.
They're doing things.
First time in like 10 months they've done anything.
Dude, people are like, why are they fucking? Oh, they don't care about you. They care about. They're just trying to get TikTok out of here. And I'm like, oh god, they're doing something, man.
Yeah.
Like,
They're showing up to work. That's good. They're
Yeah.
going back to the office.
yeah. Adam, is this something that you have looked into? Is the TikTok ban? much?
I have heard about it because the congressional podcast I've talked about before, Congressional Dish, is doing an episode on this, and she's been posting about it recently.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's like not regulatory capture, but kind of is, where like industries that are dominant in their or companies who are dominant in their industry will go to lobby Congress and say, you need to make it harder to get into this industry because we like being the dominant one. That's not really happening here. It's not like all the tech companies and like it's not like Meta is going and lobbying lobbying Congress about this because they want to protect
Freudian
Facebook.
slip.
Yeah.
So like it's weird because they're not doing that. This just seems to be like a political like game of football basically that everybody happens to agree with about like China is bad. So
Yeah.
and the tech companies don't like that because most of them are in China and they would like to remain there. So
Yeah, it's
complicated.
It's very, very complicated. That is definitely very, very true. I find it to be such an interesting thing because I like, and the only reason I bring this up for us as a music podcast is, and us for our age in particular is that I have a lot of friends who are all about Instagram Reels and not on TikTok, right? You do both, right?
I do both.
You do both.
99% Instagram Reels.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's the same deal, right? So
I like TikTok's
like
algorithm better.
concept wise,
TikTok's algorithm
Sure.
is better.
Yeah.
And you get to stay hip and with it.
sure,
Sure. Yeah, that's true.
by a couple
Yeah,
days,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or weeks.
I prefer
Yeah.
TikTok's algorithm to it, but that's not neither here nor there. The point being that a lot of people who are like in our age group are more leaning towards like Instagram Reels and kind of getting away from the TikTok thing of it all. But I am of the stance that if TikTok is banned, the music pressure on this kind of thing is going to start to fade away. I think Instagram Reels, they lean on the already existing popular material, and I don't think they're just going to take it over. I don't think it's going to be a smooth thing where suddenly Instagram is just the hot shit, where all of suddenly Gen Z is posting their like the new hot whatever, or is the trends are being created. I love Instagram, but I just don't think it's going to be boom.
no,
Yeah.
Instagram is for old people now.
This
That's
is
the
true.
reality.
Exactly.
So-
I think what they'll do, what will happen if TikTok is banned is that another version of it that's made
Something
by
like
some
that will
hip young
happen, yeah.
kid,
Yeah.
much like Zuckerberg when he was in college and was a part of Facebook being invented. I shouldn't have said his name out loud.
Why?
I'm scared now.
Why?
I don't know. Whatever.
He's not Scientology, man.
Yeah,
He's everywhere.
I mean he is everywhere, but
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, someone's gonna invent a new app and they'll
Yeah.
market it as the American TikTok.
I mean realistically, nothing's gonna happen. It's not gonna get banned. It's gonna be forced. They're gonna be forced to sell the American version of the app,
That's
which
what-
is
yeah.
already separate anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's what seems like is going to happen.
yeah, and it right now it's run by Oracle, which is like the most boomer company you can think of for tech stuff.
dude.
Like totally not great company, not competent. They're probably losing billions of dollars on it, but they want to do it, so they own the data centers or whatever for TikTok.
Ugh.
They're probably the ones who would like wind up just buying it, which doesn't make any fucking sense. But their stock keeps going up because they're involved with doing TikTok and AI stuff. So it's
Well,
gross and terrible. But like realistically, TikTok won't like disappear.
No, I don't think it will. I don't think
Because
it will
that would be a really weird point to get to if like the federal government banned any internet thing in the U.S. because that
Yeah.
doesn't exist currently, and we shit talk China for doing that all the time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like that I don't think there's any realistic way that happens. But
No.
it'll probably be really boring. Nobody will even know that it happened. Like
There's
when
a-
it switches over.
yeah.
Like
There's a lot of really good memes I've seen of like I like my my internet spying American. Like that's funny.
yeah.
But like it's like I hope whoever's posting that gets the bit of this. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like, yeah.
I would think people do. Right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Speaking of boomers, that's all I want to say about the TikTok ban. Just a brief little thing. Speaking of boomers, Neil Young.
Yeah.
More like Neil Old.
I guess
Thanks.
I guess is he past? Is he past a boomer? Or is he a
Honestly,
boomer?
he's probably like silent generation, like Biden.
yeah. He's
He's
old.
even older.
He's old,
Yeah.
man.
Did he come out with a new iPod? Not an iPod.
Okay.
Like a new shape, hexagon.
Let's quickly review what
He did the Pono, right?
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, let's quickly review
Which
what
I
he
think
did.
still exists.
It does not.
No,
2017.
the company still exists. I think they still do
Oh,
something,
Pono Music still. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think as a company. Well, it says.
which is just bizarre.
Yeah. So like the app Pono was discontinued in 2017.
Okay.
I believe that's what it was. So, as a refresher, Neil Young started this company Pono Music. It's like a music service because all the other services had bad quality music, and he was like, I want people to hear my shit in good quality.
Well, even before that, he made like a weird, like triangular iPod.
Yeah.
I wanted one of those so bad.
They do look legitimately. They do look cool,
But also
Like,
just what
impractical, but cool.
impractical, but what he proposed that they do. Because I'll never forget that video with him talking about like he's like, when like I'm assuming that's what he sounds like. But anyway,
No, keep doing that.
oh no, take a look at my life. He talks about like MP3s being like underwater, and then when you get to like lossless or whatever FLAC or like vinyl, it's like you're flying in the air.
Yeah.
Like in terms of perspective and what you can hear in the music.
Yeah.
Very romantic.
Yeah, so this was his whole thing was, and I gotta like, I don't know if we've ever talked about this. Why the fuck did he crowdfund it? Doesn't he have money?
Yeah.
That's crazy that he
'Cause
was on
Honestly,
Kickstarter.
wasn't that like the trend at the time though? Was like,
Oh, just push it on Kickstarter.
put it
Yeah,
on
I guess-
Kickstarter.
I guess
It's like
that's
marketing.
true.
Yeah, I think also he wanted it to be like, I'm only going to do this if the people are interested.
Well, and
So he wanted the
that's a very boomer take about
he did,
running a
yeah.
business.
Yeah.
He disguised it as in like, if people come forward and say they want it and fund it, then I'll do it.
so Pono happened, and this was years ago, mind you. And if you'll remember, God damn it, Ian, that's what I'm fucking getting at. God fucking damn it.
Ian in the chat just blew the story.
Spoiler, man, just took the roof off this fucking thing.
Meanwhile, the audio listeners are like, "Who's Ian?"
Well, they know
audio
now.
listeners know who Ian is. Okay. So Neil Young, if you'll remember, left Spotify. You remember why he left
He
Spotify?
huffed.
Yeah.
Because of
Threw a little fit.
no, I can't remember why.
Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
okay,
right.
yeah.
He
wow.
left Spotify.
Man, how quickly we forget.
Because of Joe Rogan.
Like a fart in the wind.
Because no one gives a shit. And then he's like, all right, you know what? If Joe Rogan's going to be everywhere, I guess I'll go back to Spotify.
I guess I'll be
Yeah.
everywhere.
What a weird reason.
Yeah.
Like to leave in the first place, I can kind of get it. It's still a weird, dumb decision, but I get it.
Yeah.
But
So
to come back because his podcast is available everywhere again. So
Yeah.
he's going to be more popular now, and you're like, I would like to go support that guy's company.
here's what he said on the Neil Young archives. He said, actually, you should read
Is
it.
that his website, the
Yeah.
Neil Young Archives?
Yeah.
Do you
that's
know
right
about his archives?
No.
He's well.
I mean, I'm
it's
sure
an
that
archive.
it
You
makes-
can probably guess.
I can assume he has
Do
good
you know what
archives.
an
It's just-
archive is?
It's
Yeah.
funny if that's his like website's name.
It's a subscription-based service
That's
where
like his streaming service.
it's his
no?
streaming
Yeah,
service.
Yeah,
So he-
yeah.
for
was
his own
He
ego.
was ahead of the game then.
Yeah.
So fucking stupid.
Where's the quote?
It's the
He
second
expected people to go there instead of Spotify.
This is a long quote to do in that high-pitched voice, but
You
let's
got
do
it.
it. My decision comes as other music services, Apple, Amazon, Qobuz. What the hell is that one? Qobuz?
It's unimportant. Just keep going.
Qobuz,
I forgot
Tidal,
Amazon had
and
one.
all the high-res have started serving the same disinformation podcast I had to oppose at Spotify. Because I cannot leave it all those services like I did Spotify. Because my music would have no streaming outlet to music lovers at all. I have returned. There it is.
Thank you.
I don't know what I just read because it.
Amazing.
What weird logic?
Yeah.
He's like, so he can't remove his music from Apple Music?
No,
We know he can.
Yeah, of course he can.
The logic is that I'm not going to remove it everywhere.
Sure.
So I'm going to put it
Now I
back
have to be everywhere.
on
Oh no, I
yeah.
have to make more money.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy that he thinks that people are like, yes, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like, Neil Young's back on Spotify. The Neil Young, the fans were already fucking subscribing to the Neil Young archive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is probably like $80 a month or
probably
something.
like 80 people.
I think it's relatively. I think it's pretty reasonably priced.
Probably $80 a month.
Yeah.
Probably 80 people. Probably 80-year-olds.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
80 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is his like? What is his target demo on streaming services?
Neil Young target demo. Let's see what we got.
It's
here.
got to be like newly retired and older.
Thinking like people who saw his music in a Netflix show.
All 5 of those people.
Yeah.
4 of them were from Nova Scotia.
There it is. Yep.
2 of them were babies.
No one knows who owned them.
Yeah, they just listened to that old man take a look at my life, or young man. I can't even remember the words.
Well, he's old now. So
Yeah,
Neil
That's fair.
Old. That was a good one. That was. a
yeah.
good
No one's
one.
ever made that joke.
no,
I
no.
liked it still.
Yeah,
Fuck that
it
guy.
landed.
Fuck that guy. That's really where.
I only know about his archive thing because I tried to listen to one of his interviews on Rick Rubin's podcast.
And then he paywalled it.
No, I got halfway through it and I was like, man, stop complaining. Stop complaining
Isn't he,
about the way things
Dude,
used to be.
No, he's
trying-
of the generation who should be really optimistic.
I know.
Like assuming he's silent generation like Biden. Biden's
Yeah.
a pretty optimistic motherfucker.
Yeah.
Second of all, he's Canadian.
I thought you were saying Biden was.
No,
like,
Biden's
that's
no,
gonna
no,
start
no,
a whole
no,
new
no.
theory.
Biden's Hawaiian.
with QAnon. Don't do that.
Biden's Hawaiian. I just found a Reddit thread that's what's your unpopular opinion about Neil Young, and one of the top ones is he's a cranky old bastard who takes himself too seriously.
It's true.
Yup. And then the comment below that is number 1. He's the best and arguably worst guitar player ever.
I mean, honestly, I that like my true take on him is that I do think he deserves some respect,
Sure.
but I don't think
High
I don't
bar.
I don't yeah I don't think he does.
Some.
Well, what I'm saying, like in the history of music,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah,
especially
he was
songwriters
influential,
and
yeah.
super influential. But the problem is that he thinks he deserves so much more respect
He
than
thinks
he gets.
he's the Beatles.
Yes, and he's so holier than thou. It's unbelievable.
Has he had somebody make a biopic of him?
That would be so funny. God damn it. This
So
thing is fucking.
I understand his concerns in the past about streaming was like the quality, right? He was
was
big,
the
he was
quality.
big on like Tidal launch, and he's like, my music is on Tidal because they respect like music quality.
Yeah.
Spotify still doesn't have a high like quality streaming option.
Honestly, one
which
of the
makes
big
this
reasons
even more stupid that
Yeah.
he's going back.
one of the big reasons I won't leave Apple Music is because I love the audio quality.
the quality was his thing.
Right.
But then it was
That's what
Joe
I mean.
Rogan
Well,
disinformation.
right. But like,
And
if he's gonna
now-
go back, wait until they launch a lossless streaming or whatever they're gonna do, because they're gonna do it.
Old man can't fucking stay on he can't
He
decide
forgot.
what
He
cares
forgot.
about.
He forgot that he cared about that.
He doesn't know what he cares about. He keeps exactly. Yeah.
He
keeps
also
forgetting.
might not be around long enough to see Spotify go to high fidelity.
That's true because Spotify seems to think it's impossible.
And there's no reason for them to do it.
Yeah, there is more money,
But
And
they're
charge more
oh, sure. Yeah.
without paying artists anything.
There you go.
Yeah,
Do you know how old Neil Young is?
it was at speaking of
82?
It's not bad. He's 78.
okay,
Yeah.
so he's almost old enough to be president.
That's
great.
That sucks.
Can we get a
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
There you go.
it's very quiet.
Yeah.
that's what it deserved. Okay. Anybody else got anything to say about this boomer?
No.
I was going to mention one thing on the audio quality thing for
Yeah.
streaming because Tidal just like cleaned out their plans. Now there's only one, I believe, and everybody gets high quality audio.
Oh, yeah.
They got rid of their cheap plan and they're like everybody pays $16 a month or whatever it is.
They Oprah'd it.
Thank you, Jackson, for paying for mine.
Friend of the show.
But whatever it is, they bumped it up a tiny bit
Ex-co-host.
and then got rid of all the different tiers. So they're like, it's really simple now. Everybody gets high quality audio. That's what they're going with,
Wow.
which is a smart move.
Yeah.
So,
This is a very smart move.
meanwhile, Spotify's like, how worse can we make it?
Yeah.
Now, enough about that boomer. On to another boomer, which actually we'll get. I'll get to. It's about Abbott, but I'll get to Abbott.
He's probably actually a boomer.
Yeah. So okay. Many people probably have heard about this, but we should definitely be talking about it. It's important to discuss this. So for those who don't know, South by Southwest is happening this week. I believe it started last week for film, and then this week would be like the music week. South by Southwest is one of like the biggest festivals to ever it's just massive. Like I think Austin has an influx of like over 1 million people during the weeks of South by, and it's also a ton of fun. But it's a massive event. There's a lot of money behind it. There's a lot of people. It's whatever. We went. We should have fucking talked about what we listened to on our trip to Austin together on our road trip episode. That's not the point. Yeah. As of yesterday, 80 bands have dropped out of South by Southwest. I believe as I'm talking, I believe it's getting closer to 100 bands have dropped out
I
of
would
South by
assume this will
Southwest.
go up.
Yeah. Well, so it's the week of South by, so like the dropping out's it's going to peter out, but it had a massive explosion over the last few days, and it could be more than that. That's just some of the numbers I've seen, but it could be more than 80 bands have dropped. Now there are a lot of bands that are official South by Southwest artists. That list is massively long, but to still think about the fact that 100 bands have dropped out of South by Southwest is crazy. Now, to those who are wondering why artists have dropped out of South by Southwest, it is because South by Southwest, like I said, is a massive festival, so they have funding from a lot of places, such as the U.S. Army. The Army is is a large funding factor of South by Southwest, and with the current world issues that are going on, all these bands decided to stand in solidarity, not support South by Southwest, not support the U.S. Army, and drop out of South by. You can, if you look at the list of bands, if you just Google like bands who have dropped off South by, you'll be able to read plenty of things. There are bands from all over the place. There are bands who, when you go to South by, you plan an entire week around it, especially if you're not a Texas artist, which majority of them aren't. You plan your tour, you plan everything about how you're getting there. You have to make it worth your time, because South by is not worth your time monetarily. In fact, a lot of bands who were going to South by now have they've been offered a ton of extra gigs outside of outside of South by. So like in Denton, for example, a venue called Rubber Gloves has been offering like, hey, if you're dropping, hit us up, we will give you a slot. Okay?
Yeah.
There's a showcase in South, like this unofficial showcase in Austin this week that's called Fair Pay, that's promoting for South by to pay their artists appropriately, as well as being a Free Palestine showcase. So that's kind of the whole thing about this. But to get to the boomer point, Governor Greg Abbott.
Boo.
He tweeted out basically to the bands that were leaving. He said, quote, "Don't come back."
Boo.
What the fuck? Like
he's playing the Florida governor game. What's his name?
DeSantis?
Yeah. He's playing that game of like, let me make it into a public battle because that went well for him and Disney.
Yeah. So what's crazy here is like, I don't know. I mean, I know that it happens in Austin, whatever, but like he has like nothing to do with this shit. Like
No.
it just happens.
It happens in Austin.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
fucking it. That's insane.
That's what I mean. Like the governor inserting themselves into like just whatever's going on in their state, and they're like, "Well, it's my fucking thing to talk about now on Twitter X."
Yeah. So the official South by Southwest Twitter account responded and said, "We do not agree with Governor Abbott.
Yeah, please come back.
Yeah, please come back."
We're gonna continue being supported by the Army,
Exactly. Yes.
but we don't agree with
Was that
Wheels
one-
McGee.
One.
Yep.
I wondered which of us was going to make a joke like that first.
Yeah.
But, I will say one thing to not really defend South by necessarily, but the Army sponsors a lot of things.
Yes.
So if you want to get mad about this because of the Army, you should look at what other things the Army sponsors that you go to
I will look that up.
or participate in,
I
like
think-
sporting events of any kind.
Yeah.
The Defense Department spends like probably billions of dollars
ton
on
of money.
marketing,
Yeah.
which is not good. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that's how it is. So
It's
there's
something-
probably more stuff that people should protest and get mad about.
It's something to watch. It's something to pay attention to, and this is a important thing, and I wouldn't dare call this just like a virtue signal, but you want to be careful with if this is what you stand for, to keep standing for with other places and other things.
Yeah, I guess that's my thing is like I don't know how prominent the Army sponsorship is at South by. I would assume not much.
Yeah.
So there's probably a lot of other stuff that we should all maybe reconsider what's being sponsored by the Defense Department.
And
if
there-
that's what you want to make a stand about, then there's probably more you can do at that point.
I think this is just the biggest way right now that
Oh, it's
a
definitely the
mass,
most prominent.
Yeah, that a mass of people know that they can try to make send a message.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it's, I would assume for most of these artists, it's less about the army sponsorship and more about Palestine.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's
which is like totally valid. That's a normal thing in music history to have protests about war. So
yeah. That is the main thing. And I like it. It's like a. It has been really. I follow a few Instagram accounts that are like really deep in the Austin scene, and it has been really cool and powerful to watch them share every single post they see of a band dropping out of South by. And like, again, a band who decides to go to South by makes an entire, like, it is not just a let's go to Austin. It is an investment. We talked about it last year when there was that guy who posted his breakdown, that band that posted their breakdown of their cost and how much money they made doing a South by trip, and it was like they were negative like a little bit. It was like no money.
yeah,
And
if you break even, you're good.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's all for the hoop dream that an unsigned band will get noticed.
Right.
Yeah. So it is incredibly important, impactful. As Adam said in the audio portion, we are turning to a political podcast today, and I fully stand by and support all these bands that are, not that it matters how I feel really about these bands, but I stand by and support all these bands and what they're doing. I think it's an incredible thing, and yeah, I mean it is pretty much all in solidarity with the Palestinian people.
Yeah.
So.
It'd be good if some larger artists also followed that lead and dropped out.
Yeah. That would be very cool.
I guess I don't know how many large artists are playing South by.
I don't know how many of them are like official artists, because a lot of people
because they'll be in town to play stuff, which is different.
Right.
Yeah, let me see if there's like if I can.
But then if they also cancel those shows, and that does help for them.
Yeah. Is there no like South by Southwest like poster?
It would be too much. There's like so many fucking artists.
Yeah.
It's an insane amount, because it's just like you apply and they're like, cool, you're an official artist. Now you're gonna play like this this kind of like showcase where you're with a bunch of bands. Now you're gonna play this kind of showcase where there's a bunch of tech bros who are doing tech bro shit and you're in the background. And so you're basically just like, you're at their will wherever they want to put you.
Yeah, and here's like $20.
If that.
I think they pay like $200 to $250, but for a band to come from Australia or from Europe or from Canada or from anywhere in the fucking world and go play Austin for maybe 2 shows in that week and make $200, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Even if you're from here, like Texas,
Sure.
like just anywhere in Texas,
It's a pain in
and
the
you
ass.
can get to Austin and you can go do that. You could go get paid that same amount any other time of year in Austin.
Yeah.
If you can get something booked, right?
Yes.
Yeah, more.
Right. Well, you could at least get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So like you're doing this for the stress of playing at South by and hoping somebody who sees you at the right time notices you, which we know doesn't really happen. So
yeah.
it's just not worth it.
Not to go without mentioning that any artist that comes from outside of the country is paying for immigration.
Yeah, they have to. They like all of the merch they're bringing over the borders, all that kind of stuff has to get
If
like
they're
taxed.
even allowed.
It's an insane amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to find like big bands that are playing South by. I think
I just kind of assume that they don't, and they're playing events around South by.
yeah. So like if you'll like,
Because it's not like ACL where there's like a bunch of big artists who are in town and have like non-compete or whatever radius clauses and can't like play a show in Dallas or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So like Jack White has done like parking lot shows during South by. So it's not like he's in Austin, and then they do have like big events. Like it seems like Shaky Graves is playing.
A Texas band.
Yeah. But like I'm trying to find like really, really big names that are playing, and it's.
But I guess the other part too is there's a lot of, like you mentioned, tech bros. Like tech companies have events, and they'll bring in probably not Jack White, but somebody of level of Jack White to play a private show that they're hosting or a
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
that they're putting on that's free, and it's like a marketing thing for like whatever fucking app matters this week.
Yeah.
The only artist I looked up a list of the people that have dropped it so far. The only person I recognized was Buffalo Nichols.
Yeah, Buffalo Nichols. There's a couple of Denton and a couple DFW bands that have dropped off as well. But it is it's a long list. It's really important to like if you're curious, you can find a lot of like the people who have done it and like read their statements and stuff. And yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have there. There is some other stuff if we want to talk about it. I think probably one of the most interesting things that I think also is political, but cool. So, did you guys see what Olivia Rodrigo did at her St. Louis concert? I guess it was last night.
No.
So
I think so. I don't know about that specific concert, but what she's been doing on this tour, yeah.
So there's a abortion ban in Missouri, and they were handing out like optional like morning after pills at her show because of the abortion ban, which is that's a move.
That is
a
bold
ballsy move.
That is a ballsy move,
Yeah.
for sure.
Disney's like
Yep.
crossing her name off the list.
Yeah.
Well, because that state has ruled that counts as abortion. So that's like those are illegal. We can go like throw you in jail.
Yeah.
So maybe she doesn't want to play there again. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe she.
That's a great like a stance for her to take though, as a artist who's so new.
Yeah.
And confident about doing that and being like, yeah, fuck that. Like
She was partnering with the National Network of Abortion Funds, and it's seemingly also partnering with the Missouri Abortion Fund. And that is, I think that's like here's pictures of free Plan B at the show, which is just like
Good for her.
yeah, really good for her, really powerful, and I think it's really really important to note like someone her size just be like, I mean, she's a huge artist, but she's like still pretty new as far as huge artists goes, and just to be like, yep, this is
and to be fine with taking a position that isn't gonna maybe alienate people she cares about listening to her music, but is gonna make her a like villain in the Fox News like story of it.
Yeah, it'll draw a line in the sand for sure.
yeah. So
because typically if you're a up and coming artist, you're like, well, I'm gonna stay out of the like politics or whatever. It's not really politics. It's healthcare, but
it's women's anatomy being infringed upon.
yeah.
but somehow that's politics.
Yeah, I know,
in
it's
our country.
insane. What the hell?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if the fact that we're talking about this now, that is, people are gonna like, there are likely people who are gonna go, why are they talking about politics?
Yeah.
Well, whereas I feel like 15 years ago, if someone of Olivia Rodrigo's stature had handed out Plan B pills at the concert, it'd be like, in the news, it'd be like, well, she's just encouraging sex and premarital sex.
Yeah,
And now it's like she's arguing with us.
That has been happening though.
Really? Even still?
Well, because she there's been a lot of videos of her on this tour, like air humping and stuff during like dance routines.
She's a pop singer.
Like fucking like yeah.
That's what they do.
That's what I've been saying. And they're like, isn't this bad because most of her audience is really young and like Disney and blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's on the parents.
Yeah.
That is not on her.
Yeah.
Like that is the farthest like
yeah. Did you listen to the album?
Yeah, exactly.
As far as we go back to pop artists too, like if you look at like anyone in the 90s, 2000s,
Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this has been the way it's been. You know?
Yeah.
This isn't new. And so people were really like, I'm not sure if she should be doing this. I'm like, fuck off. That's insane. That's like even a thing you're saying. So, but yeah, I think that's all the politics I have.
Thank goodness.
I did have an interesting question. This is an article. Billie Eilish is the youngest person to win 2 Oscars because she won for What Was I Made For. She won the Oscar for Best Original Soundtrack or whatever. Best original song. Yeah.
Which great performance. That they had there too.
And I'm Just Ken was great. That was so good.
Huh?
The I'm Just Ken performance
Yeah,
at the Oscars.
but that was also great. But
Yeah,
like
so good,
some people are like, well, that should have won best song.
Fuck off.
No, best
Fuck
performance of a song.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. So she has now won 2 Oscars, which is crazy.
Also, like, real quick, because like the Bond one was like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah.
that's just that
That's
to
crazy,
me is
yeah.
the crazier part, because normally you don't win an Oscar and then go like come back a couple years later and you're like, I won it again.
I have a feeling.
You can go like Martin Scorsese won an Oscar in like 2009 and hasn't won another one since.
Yep.
It's like
it's crazy.
what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Do you have the full like facts on that?
No.
Oh, she's the first woman to win an Oscar, a Grammy, and a Golden Globe for film music twice.
Yeah. So
That's a pretty crazy accomplishment.
That's insane.
the question that I was going to ask is, how long do you think it's going to take her to get an EGOT? And is she going to be the youngest person to get an EGOT?
Whenever she wants.
I was gonna. Does she want to do that?
I don't know, but
As soon as she wants to do it, apparently.
Yeah, the what was I made for?
If they do a
stage
Barbie,
play.
if they do a Barbie play,
because the Tony's
Or
going to be the
musical.
hardest one.
Yeah.
Emmy, she could. That's no problem. She'll get an Emmy, But the Tony seems like, I don't know how she's going to get a Tony, but I bet she could be the youngest person to have an EGOT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just her that's gonna want to do that. There are gonna be other people that want her name attached to their projects that they're gonna be like, hey, you're on a roll. Do you want an
Right.
EGOT?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that she's halfway to an EGOT. She has been, and like if she wants to, could just
and
be
she
like,
just got more.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly, yeah.
It's crazy.
So how many Grammys does she have?
I don't know. All of them.
Like dozens.
She's and then she has 2 Oscars. Yeah.
I mean, an Emmy. I don't know how soon that would happen. It's just going to be somebody putting her music in like the title credits, probably.
yeah, it's exactly what it'll be.
But-
Is it?
Actually, I guess they did that already. True Detective: Night Country has her music in the title
does
credits.
it?
It's fucking
Okay.
weird. Sounds wrong.
That is strange. That is very weird.
Apparently,
That's
Billie,
not going to win it. But
Billie Eilish only has 9 Grammys.
Only.
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 Sure.
how many?
Sure.
How many years has she released music? 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1 Grammy a year. Pretty good.
Maybe less than that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Only.
Yeah.
Only
Only
nine.
9. I mean, I was just surprised.
She's
'cause
fucking staying up at night going, I couldn't have fucking 10.
if it wasn't for my fucking brother.
She calls in the middle of the night like, we gotta fucking do better next time.
we
Yeah,
could have
exactly.
had 10. Hang
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah, I think she'll be if she really wants to, she'll be the youngest person to have an EGOT. So
That's insane.
yeah. Cool. That's all I got for news.
I think that's enough.
that's enough.
You don't want more political news?
Do you have any news?
No, I don't.
Oh,
But if I knew we were doing political news, I could have come with something. But
Yeah. Sorry. Well, next time you got them.
I'm okay.
do an all political episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. What song is Trump using at rallies now?
Oh, curious. Do you know?
Songs he's not allowed to use.
Probably. Yeah. He should not be allowed.
Songs that nobody's happy he's using.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Okay. Cool. What are we listening to, everybody?
Oh my goodness.
It's the funniest. It's the funniest thing to listen back to how surprised you are whenever this comes up.
Well, because I just
every time, you mean?
Yeah.
is it every time?
Pretty much.
I love that.
Pretty much every time. It's like, what are you listening to? You're like, oh God. As if this hasn't happened every week.
This is first time here.
It's forever. I've been listening to the new Norah Jones record, Visions. It's a grower.
Okay.
I've also been listening to the Hannah Francis record, Keeper of the Shepherd, that we listened to.
Do you sound? I can't tell if you sound happy about that.
Yeah, you sound sad about that one.
I think it's a good record, and I think that I'm not in the right moment of my life to listen to it.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's it.
Gotcha. Album.
Just have one thing. New song. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds put out a new song that I should have looked at the name of. Wild God. It's their title track off their upcoming album in August, which feels like a long way away.
That's so long.
It'll be quick.
Yeah, but Idols seems like a long time, and then it came out. So
Yeah. Very
maybe
true.
it'll be okay. But the song is kind of like a return to form for them. Less we've been making movie scores, and more where we used to be a rock band.
We're a band.
So that's exciting. It's got one of the Greenwood brothers who's been touring with him. I can't remember his name now.
Colin.
Yeah, Colin.
Yeah.
Who's been touring with him is on it with the band.
Wow.
So
That's cool.
and
Take that, the smile.
Dude, fucking get shit on. Fucking wear it. Give me the
Get shit on!
dude. They're not smiling now. Awesome. Well, I have been listening to Mannequin Pussy, their band I Got Heaven. We listened to the title track on Fun Fridays. It's a super cool album. It's kind of it's punk, but like has a lot of soft stuff. It's a good journey. It's a really, really fun journey of an album. I highly suggest it. Lots of great voices. There's screaming as well. It's fun. And then Underdressed at the Symphony by Faye Webster is beautiful, and it is I was listening to it last night while I was working on stuff, and I just kept finding myself getting caught in this like, what the fuck? And I'd look over, and it was like a 1.5-minute song that's done. I'm like, what just happened to me? Like that was I was just like taken away by this thing. So absolutely beautiful. Really big fan. Ian in the chat mentions the Slipknot post of the broken pro mark. I gotta like, we can't talk about the drummer drama while we're talking about politics. I just don't.
It's
I'm
too
not
much.
like
Doesn't work.
Unless we're doing conspiracy theories with politics and music, then I can pull out the yarn and do that for the drummer shit too. But it's just, we all know it's gonna be fucking Eloy that's the drummer.
He's gonna be the drummer for Slipknot.
Yeah, it's done and done. It's a done deal. And I can't wait for Slipknot to announce that they're too old and they're quitting in a year, and then Eloy lost both his gigs.
And Sepultura is like, we're actually gonna go on for another 6 years.
That would be so
We're gonna have
fucking
2
funny.
drummers, and it's gonna be Grayson and what's his name?
It's gonna be Grayson and
The guy from that's in Suicidal Tendencies now, Weinberg.
Jay
Weinberg.
Yeah. It's a drummer like legit. Like I have to draw yarn to each place. It's like this
So
drummer.
like, we'll come in next week and there'll just be nothing on this wall but yarn and
But
photos.
you know about all of that, right?
No, because
All
we
the
talked about
drummer
it
stuff?
last week. Because
Listen
you
to the
wouldn't
rest of
care.
the episode.
I need to go. You told me to stop listening.
I'll tell you.
somehow.
I'll tell you this. One drummer was in Slipknot. Now he's not in Slipknot.
I do know
anymore.
this.
One drummer was in Suicidal Tendencies. Now he's not in Suicidal Tendencies anymore. One drummer was in Sepultura. Now he's not in Sepultura anymore. They all went fucking switcheroo.
All right.
They flipped.
Yeah,
They did a hippie flip.
yeah. There's actually a.
You just hope like 2 of the 3 of them made a good choice.
I hope
I
3
do-
out of 3 of them.
I-
made a good
Well, I just mean like
Yeah.
if they're not a band anymore. It's like,
Sure.
I'm actually
yeah.
certain that 2 out of 3 of them made a good choice. I'm certain of that. I will say also that there's another podcast called The Downbeat. It's a great music interview podcast, and I think the guy's name is Craig Reynolds, who's the host on that, and he also is like a YouTuber and whatnot. And he reacted a couple years ago to Eloy playing, I think it was the Heretic Anthem by Slipknot, and like the comments on that video, it's like 2 years ago. The comments in the video are like, "How did Craig predict this?" Everyone's going back to that video like, "What the fuck?
That's awesome.
This is crazy." But that will be updated, I'm sure, soon. I was actually checking like all the like music news outlets today. Like, if this gets announced and I miss it because I'm teaching, I'm gonna be so embarrassed when I press live and Ian pops up and is like, "Did you see the drummer is?" I'm like, "Fuck, fuck."
We have some news about Slipknot.
Breaking news! Breaking news!
Ian's gonna be like, "Is this the news?"
Yeah.
Damn it, Ian.
Neil Young is the new drummer.
Yeah, Neil Young is the new drummer, and Slipknot is off of Spotify. All right. Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you so much. If you haven't already, please follow or subscribe whatever podcast app you're using to listen to this. If you're on YouTube right now and you haven't subscribed to the channel, well, why the heck not? Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. All that shit, it's fucking free. You should just do it. It helps us out a ton. If you're on social media, find us DFTA Podcast on Instagram. Don't Be the Artist on TikTok. If you want to say hi to us, if you have topic suggestions, anything at all, shoot us an email at feedback@don'tfeedtheartist.com, or you could DM us on those previously mentioned social media accounts. And we also have our Patreon that we're filming an episode for tomorrow, and we're gonna be doing more. So go join our Patreon, patreon.com/don'tbetheartist. I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
See you Friday.
We'll see you Friday, motherfuckers. Fun Fridays. Fun Fridays. Me and Dave, we're listening to music. Be there, or I'll be mad at you.
Yeah.
Ian, I'll be mad at you. Thanks.
Looking at you,
Oh,
Ian.
fuck. I shouldn't have closed my shit, because that's where my automations are. Really fucked this up, didn't
This
I?
is awkward.
You got really ahead of it that time.
I was like, I'm done. I don't gotta do anything anymore. All right.
Fuck off! Get rid of town!
That'll do.